Welcome to episode 132 of the Wrasslecast. I'm your host, Don Delarente. I'm joined by the sensational Didi Jonay.
Hey, friends.
Hey, friend. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm drinking rum and Red Bull.
Oh, starting early.
Man,
I'm not. I like the song. I'm drinking vodka and Red Bull.
she on that Beanie Man.
That voice you just heard is the incomparable DJ Wally Sparks. What's up, bud?
Good evening, everyone.
How are you? How are you?
I'm doing well, brother. I can't complain. How's everybody?
Good, man. Let them know what you got going on, man. Let them know where they can find you on Twitter, what you're working on, where they can find you in these streets.
You can find me on Twitter at DJ Wally Sparks. That's at DJ WALLYSPARKS. I got quite a few things going on, man. If you're in the Atlanta area, I have a party tomorrow. Well, on Friday, May 5th, called Flavor. It's throwback hip hop and R&B. Do that once a month. I also have another party that I do once a month. It's called The Groove, R&B all night. It's a real good time. You can go to thegrooveatl.com and see all the photos and videos of the party. And on Saturday, I will be in Louisville for the Kentucky Derby doing an art event for Jack Daniels called Art Beats and Lyrics. I'm DJing with Manny Fresh. So,
Shit. That's dope.
Nice. So make sure you guys follow the Twitter account. See that fresh suit you're going to have for the Derby? No, it's going to be
I'm
fresh.
definitely not going to have no suit on.
No seersucker.
No suit. Come on, man. You gotta be
No
clean.
seersucker.
Oh.
No seersucker, no straw hat, none of that, man. You know?
Aw.
All right.
Well, maybe one year, but not this year.
All right. And our other guest tonight, of course, he's the president of the Chill Committee. If it ain't Frozen, it ain't him. None other than Mo_Reese.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Hey,
So,
okay.
just hit it, chill, and talk some wrestling.
All right, before we get into it, just remind everybody that we are here on the CSPN.us. You can find us also at Wrasslecast.tumblr.com. We can also be found on iTunes, Google Play, and any way that you can download, subscribe, and listen to podcasts. So we're going to jump into some quick news articles really fast. First off, Sean Waltman had a rough weekend as he was detained at LAX as they found a whole lot of contraband in his bag, and that would be in the form of weed and meth pills. So he got locked up, posted bond, and then, of course, he has a podcast, and on his podcast, that it was all a big mistake, that yes, the weed was his, but those were not meth pills, that those were medicine for a yeast infection. So Didi, do you believe it or not?
Okay, now I've never personally had a yeast infection, but I know some people. They usually tend to just get monostat. They don't take pills that
Were
look
they
like.
men?
It could be different for a man.
Is it different for a man?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Do you take pills that look like meth? Is that how it goes?
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I have no clue.
I mean, I guess I don't know. It seems like it could be fixed with yogurt. I don't know why you need pills at all.
You say yogurt?
I don't know. Isn't it a bacteria thing? Yogurt has the live. Listen, you've seen Activia. Don't question it.
Anybody else want to weigh in on Mr. Waltman's actions?
You can't take drugs across the water. You can't give them to the airport with you. So what you doing, bro?
It's definitely something he probably done before.
Yeah, I'd imagine somebody like him has probably been smoking with reefer on planes. I mean, traveling with reefer on planes for a long time. And again, like you said, he probably just thought he was just gonna get away with it many times before.
Right.
Guess that privilege don't work everywhere, huh?
No, not all the time. Only thing I can say is, unlike Ike Turner, it appears that X-Pac is not off that narcotic.
Hmm.
In some late breaking news as of today, Charlotte Flair is the latest victim of having her nudes leaked to the internet. As Charlotte Flair herself went on Twitter to, demand that the nudes be taken down immediately, which actually drew attention to it because it was kind of going under the radar in most circumstances until she said something. So, again, just some, advice: don't save them, erase them, and hopefully whoever you send them to has the same policy.
Right.
Anybody want to weigh in on that? Open floor.
Just keep your head out of them, and then you have plausible deniability.
And
I've heard.
your head and your
I don't know.
tattoos.
I was about to say, unless you got tattoos and you had that
Well, see, I don't have
plausible.
no tattoos, but yeah, if you any, you know, what's it called, defining characteristics, keep them out them photos,
Hmm.
and you will be okay.
So
And all the identifiers out.
yeah, it seems to be an attack on women in the WWE. So I mean, they've had 2 warning shots. So I mean, get smart is all I can say. You don't want to be
I'm
next
thinking
on the
number
Summer
three
Jam.
is gonna be Becky.
Becky Lynch.
Yeah,
Why you think it's gonna be Becky?
I
because I
saw a
know
meme
it won't be Naomi. I know it won't be Naomi.
and I saw a meme today
She
that suggested that it could be her, but I'm not too
see
sure.
no, or, and, schism. So I'm assuming it's gonna be a white girl, and I just feel like Alexa wouldn't do that. She would know to keep her head out of the photos. So, I have to find somebody naive enough to like leave like orange hair in a picture. Like I feel like that'd be Becky.
Well, they tried to say some pictures of Alexa was floating around, and she quickly cleared that up. She's like, "No, that's not me."
Even if it was, you can't prove it, which is the whole point.
Exactly.
Boom. So like I said, she'll be smart about it. I kind of feel like Becky would be the one to be like, yeah, that's you.
So what you saying that not only is Alexa Bliss the best women's heel in WWE, she has the best nudes etiquette in WWE also.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past her. I believe in her.
All right, so that's our news for this week. So now we're going to go into our review section. Of course, we had the big weekend. And of course, like every pay per view or WWE network event, we always have to start with hashtag say no to pre shows. Kayfabe, you
Hmm.
didn't see your boys, huh?
No, I didn't see anything because I say no to pre-show.
So it was Enzo and the big one, Big Cass, versus the Good Brothers, Gallows and
Mm.
Anderson.
Mm-mm.
The Good Brothers attempt the magic killer on Enzo, but Cass makes the save. That
Yeah.
allows Enzo to roll up Carl Anderson and the win.
Mm.
That's nice.
See,
I
see
certainly
what you.
did miss that.
Listen, I was drinking with your friend actually. I was with Jeff and other people. And
Yes.
I was like, they
You
sitting up
mean
there had a Nintendo brunch. I'm sitting up there playing like, I actually wasn't playing, but we playing like, Nintendo games,
you mean
Zelda and shit. So I
you
had to,
mean you mean Dontario Poe?
who?
Dontario Poe and Yef, they're the same person. If you know
Oh,
who Dontario Poe is, they look exactly alike, and you've never seen Dontario Poe and Jeff in the same place at the same time.
Dante.
See,
Listen, let me go Google. But yeah,
Google
so
it.
I had
Google it.
to, I
Kansas
had
City
to
Chiefs.
leave. I had to leave there, and so I missed the pre-show.
Okay. Wealth
Oh
of getting
fuck, that is him.
I
Yo, Jeff got a twin.
mean
That's
triplet.
hilarious. Oh
Don't forget Mark
yeah,
Ingram.
yeah, he does look like Mark Ingram. But
shout
yeah.
out, shout out to at Jeff Esquire. Good dude. Good dude. Y'all also look out for the links for the DMV cookout. I know that's getting ready to come up here soon.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
so what y'all think about this match? I mean, Enzo and Cass finally got him a win after getting beat on TV, or at least Enzo getting beat on TV for a month. So trying to keep him at least where the fans can care about him a little bit. Maybe they'll get the title.
Mm, I doubt that, but At least they won something.
Yeah.
I guess Enzo and Cass trying to get the belts is like, that hot girl you keep doing stuff for that you hope will notice that you really like her, but it's just
She's like, oh, she just know you're flunky.
right,
Like you're just there.
right, right. Like I know this dude. I can pretty much get him to do anything for me. So next up, we get the Hardy Boys to backstage. They're preparing for their match when they're approached by the Golden Truth, and they said that they want to face the winner of tonight's match between them, the Hardy Boys, and Sheamus and Cesaro. So I think this is all on the strength of what Sleep though. When she was on here, she was talking in the mix and stuff, and I think that he should have showed the tweets to Kurt Angle, and he should have showed the tweets to the Hardy Boys, and they might have been like, "Oh, okay, I see why you up here trying to do this." It's not out of nowhere, people. The Wrasslecast has influence. So we get Sheamus and Cesaro there in the social media lounge, and Charlie Caruso, please say the Caruso, was the host. Then we get Miz TV. Tonight's guest is Finn Balor. Miz begins to run down Finn, saying that he's too small and that Miz could crush him. Finn goes to attack the Miz, but he puts Maurice in between them. Finn says, that makes Miz angry. That leads to Finn giving Miz the sling blade, followed by the shotgun drop kick. Yeah. But this totally makes no sense when we get further, like 24 hours later. It's like,
exactly.
Okay, right. So now we, go to a commercial break. We come back up. We get the pyro, the official start of hashtag the Big Paycast. We start off hot. We get Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho, U.S. title match. After Owens escaped the walls of Jericho by putting his finger on the ropes, called back to WrestleMania, Jericho stomps on his hand, and then Jericho puts Owens' hands between the steps and kicks the steps. Jericho is able to counter the pop-up powerbomb due to Owens' injured hand. Jericho gets Owens back into the walls of Jericho, and Owens taps out. Jericho is your new United States champion.
You're welcome.
And headed to SmackDown Matters.
You're welcome.
One of Dee Dee's she had an awesome night, ladies and gentlemen, on Who You Got.
I did.
On Payback. She was the winner this time.
And it wasn't close at all.
Oh,
Take
she
your
bragging.
Yeah, it was good. Like,
Oh,
I've never done that good. It was just like, yeah, take all the points, take them all.
Take your victory lap. So, Wally.
Yes, sir.
Give me some feedback on Kevin Owens and Jericho, man.
I like the match. Both of those guys are awesome. Jericho in particular. Jericho been tearing shit up for like what, well over a year now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And much of the time, a large part of the time has been with Kevin Owens. Like both of them are like really clicking on all cylinders. Just it's just fun. It's fun to watch them together.
Mm-hmm.
Even from the whole best friend thing to that Festival of Friendship shit to the inevitable Kevin Owens turn because he's a heel and he's always gonna be a heel. And Jericho getting the like. Does it feel like that Jericho is getting because he's going so well that he's getting like a nostalgia pop combined with what with the good, not that because he's doing great stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like the list and all that stuff is great stuff.
Well, he's an old timer who's actually like more like a 3/4 of the way timer. He's not like a part timer like everybody else. Like
you know how like them old cats in golf like still win the Masters at like 45 and 46. That's what I feel like Jericho is right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, I'm old. I'm a lot slower than I used to be, but I know how to do this, and I know how to do this better than everyone else. You know what I'm saying? And I can still do it.
Mm-hmm. So why not? And Vince, let me get my little 4 months off to get my, whatever injuries I may have and do my little fun stuff. And then I'll come on back when you need me. So, Mo, got anything to say about Jericho? The callback from the WrestleMania spot was classic.
It was. I enjoyed the match. Like Wiley was saying, this run by Jericho has been one of my favorites in a long time, and just the whole how everything just not how this match played out. I was surprised that he got the rub to get the win, but it makes sense and everything.
Better in the WrestleMania match. Like I said, the WrestleMania match, I thought Kevin Owens was like a little nervous, like he appeared to be like a step off in the beginning. But it looked like in this match right here, they was like Wally said, they were tuned up and they had it down and they were ready to go. So good job of those guys. Next up, we got Austin Aries versus Neville, cruiserweight title match. Aries gives Neville a sunset flip powerbomb. Then Aries rolls into the last chancery. As Neville struggles to break the hold, he grabs the ref and pulls him down onto Aries, which leads to a disqualification. Neville retains his cruiserweight title. Pretty crafty, heel life, hashtag. Pretty crafty. I give Neville, some kudos on doing anything to retain your belt.
That's what man.
Because he was in the middle of the ring, helpless there. So
yeah, he that was some heel tactics right there. That's all yelling at the TV. I was like, seriously, but I was like, well, makes sense. Continuation of the story. But I was just like, man, I said Neville did what he had to do, so it's expected.
Yeah, Evil Elf DD. Next up, Hardy Boys versus Sheamus and Cesaro, Raw Tag Team title match. Matt hits Sheamus with the twist of fate, then Jeff does a blind tag, which leads to Jeff hitting the swanton and getting the pin. After the match, they all shake hands, but while the Hardys were celebrating, Sheamus and Cesaro come back and they attack the Hardys and basically decimate them and leave them laying. And now we have our official heel turn of Cesaro and Sheamus. Well, it wasn't quite what I predicted. I just predicted Cesaro would go rogue and maybe just beat up Sheamus, but this works too.
Yo, man, let me tell you my favorite part about this match. My favorite part about this match happened after the match. Oh,
you still there?
My bad. I thought I got cut off. But anyway, so when the heel turn happened, and Sheamus and Cesaro, start beating down the Hardys. So Booker T and Corey Graves get into like argument, right? Booker T's like, yo, this is what you do, man. They're trying to get that thing up, and Corey no-sold it and did the babyface thing. He's like, this is absurd or whatever. And then like, just all of a sudden, Harlem Heat Booker T just came back. He was like, yo, man, I was in the greatest tag team of all time, and this is what you do. You know what I'm saying?
I was rolling.
Man, I marked out so hard when that happened because I was like, oh, that's Booker T. Because WWE super version of Booker T is tries to be funny, it's not really funny.
Mm-hmm.
I think he knows that, and that's kind of like the gimmick. But for that like one little 10-second run, like Booker T that used to, kick people in the head all the time back in WCW showed up. And I was like, because he got so mad at Graves when he said that. I guess because he just, no-sold him the first time. But when he started yelling like that, man, I got so hyped. I was like, man, that's a Harlem Heat. There it is right there. But other than that, though, besides that, I thought the match was pretty good, even before the shenanigans at the end, man. I like the idea of Sheamus and Cesaro being the tag team. I'm not sure if I like the idea of them being the tag team that the Hardys, lose the belts to, because Sheamus and Cesaro don't really need to be made, you could take a younger tag team and put them with the Hardys and let them be the ones that they drop the belts to. But, I'm getting good matches out of it, so I can't really complain.
Right. DD, what do you feel about your bae going to the dark side? Still in the section?
Absolutely. This is what we do.
All right, so we're going to move on to the Raw Women's title match between Alexa Bliss and Bayley. Alexa runs Bayley into the post, but showboats instead of covering Bayley. Bayley then rolls Alexa up for a near fall. Bliss gets back to her feet, hits Bayley with the TDT, and Alexa Bliss gets the win. and she is the new Raw Women's Champion. Yay! You guys know how I feel about
But you ain't pick her though.
I didn't.
You
I
didn't?
didn't. I
Mm-mm.
didn't. I
Horrible.
didn't. I
how
know.
could you go against her?
Because I thought they were gonna.
How could you portray the Hive?
Because
How could you portray the Hive?
because I was playing the game, trying
I
to.
understand. I understand
Trying
you
to
play
be-
the game, but you
Mhm.
gotta realize what the WWE has in Alexa Bliss, and
I know.
they want to keep that battery going.
I've been the one with the pom poms from
Mhm.
From day one.
Nah, you
Murphy.
have me. You
Matter
have
of fact,
me.
he was when NXT. When she was on NXT, he was telling everybody she's great. She's going to be the future and everything. And then this
And then
revelation
you
comes.
turned your back on him.
Look at this revelation right here.
Turned
Because
your back,
because-
Mufasa.
because I thought that they were gonna do right by Bailey and let her win in her hometown, and then they were gonna do like a rematch on Monday, and then Alexa win there. But nope, Vince McMahon stayed true to Vince McMahon, and so Alexa Bliss is our new champion. This is a good match. Alexa Bliss is still a little couple of timing issues here and there, but she's getting better, and her mic skills and everything else, her persona and the way she carries herself is so much better. And came up, she's on her way to being even greater than she is right now. So next up, we had the part of the pay-per-view that really went downhill for everybody. We've had actually a great show. It was first four matches. We were off and running, good stuff. Then we get Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, the House of Horrors match. Randy pulls up in the limo with no shirt and some shirt slacks. I don't know. So anyway, they fight through the house. They have all types of different themes in the rooms of the house. But anyway, Bray leaves Randy for dead in the House of Horrors after slamming a refrigerator on him. Bray jumps into the limo that Randy took to the House of Horrors, and he heads back to the arena. So in between that time, we have Samoa Joe versus Seth Rollins. Joe locks in the Coquina clutch on Seth Rollins, but as Rollins gets to the turnbuckles, he does the classic float over. That leads to Joe being flat on his back, and Rollins kind of cradles him up and gets the win.
You're welcome.
It's like a flash pin on Samoa Joe. He was like stunned, looking around like, what happened?
Mhm.
Pretty good match. Pretty good match. I liked it.
I liked how I picked him to win. That's what I really like.
Somebody talking it.
Listen, this hasn't happened but like once since we started playing Who You Got. Let me get my shit in. Like this.
Go
is
ahead.
new.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not.
This
mad
is
at that.
new for me.
Talk your shit.
And I think the last time I won by maybe like 1 point. Like no, I won.
She said she ran away with it.
I did.
It wasn't even close.
It wasn't at all.
Good deal.
I saw the results. I was like, oh. And she was proud with it too. I was like, okay, we're gonna hear about this week.
Listen. I give everybody their little props. When Donald won, I was like, yeah, Don, we don't even need to do these last 2 matches. He won. Like, I tell the truth. Oh, but now it's my turn to talk shit? Oh, it's on. It's on. Oh, yes.
Wally, anything stand out to you, Samoa Joe, Seth Rollins?
I mean, I like the way it was a match. It was a match in the right place on the card on a pay-per-view that's kind of like a transitional pay-per-view, and it didn't. I mean, I thought it was cool. It was good because it was 2 good wrestlers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't. It wasn't anything like crazy exciting. It wasn't trash. You know what I mean? I kind of like what they're doing with Joe. You know what I'm saying? I'm interested to see what they're going to do post Triple H's hired mercenary with him. You know what I'm saying? Or if they're going to keep that going and that. But yeah, I mean, it was all right, man. It wasn't a bad match. I mean, like I came back to it in the middle of it because I ain't watched that House of Hard shit. I just went and did something else. But yeah, for what I saw, man, I enjoyed it. You know, it didn't make me get up. I didn't lose any. I mean, my attention span didn't go away.
Okay. Next up, we had the
From
return. Oh, sorry, my bad. We had the return of Bray Wyatt to the arena. He does his whole entrance, and once he gets in the ring and blows out his lantern, Randy Orton is standing in the ring. Now, Dee, that's the magic I need to know about right there.
Listen, you trying to tell me he ran like Forrest Gump back to the arena? Like what? What? How did this happen? Now, truly, when Bray got into the limo, I thought they were gonna like at some point cut to the driver and it would be Randy. But like, how you just randomly show back up at the arena? Was there like another vehicle? Like what?
Yeah, they had a big old loop that you could drive 2 Mack trucks through in that storyline right there.
Yeah, they ain't even try. I don't appreciate that.
All right, so Randy starts to get the upper hand and back in the ring in the match when the Singh brothers hit the ring and attack Randy. Orton hits an RKO on one of them, but then Jinder comes out from behind. He hits him with the belt, and then Bray follows up with the Sister Abigail, and Bray gets the win.
Yay.
So, yeah.
I got
Bray
a point. It don't matter how we won.
So
We won.
a lot of people that I know have issue with this match with the outcome, and
It was awful.
and I'm looking at them like they're crazy because I'm like all about Jinder having this little run in his storyline with it, trying to get the title and everything.
Oh, so your team don't hinder Jinder?
Yeah, I mean, I'm liking it because it's somebody new in the title picture, and when we first came back, I thought it was just gonna be enhancement talent, but then we seen what he's doing and everything, so I'm good. I'm good with this. I figured he would have a role in this match anyway because of everything that's going on. Bray needed this win.
You know, this like when JBL first got his started getting his main event run.
Right.
Was a JR, like a completely changed character or whatever, and like they immediately kind of put him in the main event.
Yep.
This is the same kind of thing, and it could work out. I ain't too mad at it. I was a little confused by it when it happened. I was like, Jinder? Him? You know what I'm saying? Just of all people, I wouldn't have thought of him. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. We wouldn't have thought it was him, but the fact that he's actually taking it and he's making something of it, I'm like, they should just let this keep going and don't even put AJ or whoever else back in the title picture. I'm like, come on, let's do something with this while you got it going on.
Yeah, I like it because it's new. It's fresh and new.
Right.
That I like. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. Everybody got their favorites and who
exactly
are more deserving.
But as soon as I saw it, and I saw it how everything, especially when he took the title and ran off in the limousine, I was like, "Yo, let's go!" I was fully into it then.
Yeah,
you're doing all the classic heel shit, man. Like all the stuff that a heel champion would do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it appears to be working. So, we'll see how far this goes.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we've seen somebody abduct or abscond the belt as they've been using and keep it for a long time away from the champion. So yeah, that was cool to see that kind of throwback, old school back in the day. So then we get to our main event: Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. Braun catches Roman in the head and arm choke. Then Braun gives Roman the running power slam. Roman kicks out. Braun gives Roman another running power slam and gets the win. Braun slams Roman onto the ring steps. Then he used the ring steps to bash Roman in the chest, which leads to Roman spitting up blood. Then they cut to Roman. He's in the back, making his way to the ambulance. When Braun charges at him, Braun misses Roman and rips off the ambulance door. Roman then uses the other door to slam into Braun's arm repeatedly until Braun retreats. And that is how we ended #the Big Paycast.
So do we have an update on the ambulance? Because that was just so crucial. It's like all of a sudden you hear, "I'm not done with you," and then all of a sudden you see the ambulance door come flying off. I was like, ouch. I was like, the poor ambulance.
Hope they had their insurance paid up for this month.
We know you're trying to repel Obamacare, so
Yeah, he might be out here in the lurch on his own.
For real.
for the repairs. I'm glad Braun didn't hit that metal pole though, because
Right.
we really would have had a story if that would have happened.
Giant man, separate shoulder, trying to
hmm
go.
But this was a really good match. I haven't seen a really I could say Big Show and Braun was a big on big man match, but that was like a giant on giant match. This was more like a big on big man match from old school, like Hogan versus John Studd type match. Two guys, it's like 6'7", 6'8", just doing wrestling holes against each other. Pretty good,
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah. And it was crazy when the pay per view was over. I was like, yo, that's it. I was like, that's the end. That we off the air. That's what Dee Dee said. Something about why can't Raw be like that?
I'm just saying, if your pay per view can end at 10:48, why is your Raw going to 9:15? That's all I want to know.
You mean 11:15?
11:15. I said 9:15 because I wanted
Yeah,
to end early.
That's when you be clocking in from watching. No,
Listen,
that's when
I had to watch the whole thing this time because this week was Jocelyn Baby, and I don't give a fuck about Jocelyn or that baby.
Oh
So I
gosh,
had to
that
watch
was.
all 3 hours.
Oh, you actually chose Vince and Monday Night Raw over Monday Night Raw? Wow.
It was Jocelyn and the baby. It wasn't even a
This was
real
an all Johnson
episode.
episode.
It was like, I don't care about the Puerto Rican princess. I'm sorry, that's not what I tune in for.
I heard it was extra ratchet too.
It certainly was.
The
was
cake
like
was. That's
doing
all I really
flashback.
saw.
Right.
I said, that's
She really
not
wanted that
my
cake.
ministry. It's nasty.
She really wanted that cake.
And it was awful. But
And
I
had
think
young
everybody
Jock.
who buys those birthing baby cakes, I feel like that's aesthetically displeasing. And you make bad life choices just in general if you want that cake.
And I really like cake, and I would have a difficult time eating that.
Because
you
it's
was sitting
nasty.
there looking at it. She talking about I want pubes and everything. I was like, man,
That's nasty. Don't nobody want to eat that. They just want regular ass sheet cake from Costco.
right.
Why are you
put the little writing on it. Make sure it's not whipped cream icing, and we good.
Yes. If you want to be funny, put a little bit of a colored icing in the middle. Oh, is it a boy or a girl? Like that's all you gotta do.
See, you can do a reveal that way.
Yes, that's all you need.
Mm-hmm.
Some people.
Baby shower
go
tips.
extra, and she had strippers there too.
Which is just, I can't.
Like, come on now. But anyway.
I love a good stripper, but I don't know if I need her at the baby shower. Like, that's how you got this way. You was probably went to see the strippers, and then you went home and got frisked. Like, that's too much.
It was when her and Stevie was good.
Of course, it was when that was good.
Ugh, I can't even.
Well, can you tell me where Monday Night Raw was from this week? Somewhere in California.
Sacramento.
Okay, Monday Night Raw from Sacramento. We start off, we have all the women in the ring. They're all waiting on the new Raw Women's Champion. And Alexa comes out and declares that the queen is dead and calls herself a goddess. Alexa has words for each of the women in the division. Finally, she runs down Bailey. Bailey wrestles Alexa, and a big brawl starts. Then we go to our commercial break. I think what everybody will remember is her interaction with Nia Jax.
Yes.
She bumped into Nia, turned around, and was like, yeah, we're good.
She ain't got no problems with Nia.
Can't wait to be your tag team partner later tonight. We're fine. But she, she ran down Sasha Banks. She was like, she'd like to thank Sasha for, being the person that she beat to be in this position. And, just doing the Alexa Bliss Mean Girl thing. And then she didn't even have half a bar for Emma and Alicia Fox, which I thought was just too cold Scorpio.
Good one.
Flash fun.
After the big brawl, we get an impromptu 8 women's tag match. Oh yeah, she said that Mickie James, her predecessors were, her contemporaries, were Mae Young and Moolah.
I died when she said that. I was like, that is cold.
So we had Bailey, Sasha Banks, Mickie James, and Dana Brooke versus Alicia Fox, Alexa Bliss, Nia Jax, and Emma. Alexa rakes Bailey's eyes, then hits her with the DDT, and Alexa and Team Bliss get the win. Yay!
2 things real quick. One, I think Kurt Angle texted Teddy Long to see how he should handle that, and two, I think Jake the Snake had to smile when he saw that DDT finish from Alexa Bliss.
Steve Austin too.
Oh, I know he's a proponent of the DDT finish.
Oh hell yeah! I'm a proponent of the tornado DDT as a finish. That's the sweetest looking move in wrestling, and people just use it as a throwaway. Like, especially people who do it really good, and
Right.
people who take it really good. Like, dude, the match should be over right there. Just stamp right there. But I'm an old prickly guy now, so these kids and they flippy dudes, they want to see somebody come off the top rope and do a triple Indy and go
Nah, give me an old
through a
school.
table.
Give me an old school finisher, and I'm good.
I don't like how all these WWE finishers are just slams and shit. They don't look like
Right.
anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least some shit like, speaking of flippy finishes, like something like the Red Arrow. You see that come out, you know the match is over. It's over. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a finish.
I really am still intrigued by how they keep throwing this roadblock up in front of Sasha Banks turning heel.
Right.
It's
I might
like,
let it turn.
well, actually, it's kind of cool because it's like they kind of keep baiting you. It's like, so now we got another layer. Now she can fight with Alexa and her and Bailey. It's like something's going to happen where they all three going to get out there in the mix, and it's going to make Sasha turn. But it could be still a while. So I kind of like the slow play.
Slow burn to a big blaze. I got you.
That's right. Next, we get Enzo versus Gallows. The Good Brothers attack Enzo and Cass before the matches are walking down doing mic work. Distracts Didi. Anderson distracts Enzo while he's on the top rope. That leads to Gallows getting him off the turnbuckle. Then Gallows hits the flapjack and pins Enzo, and Luke Gallows gets the win.
Gallows is the big one, right?
Yeah.
For the sake, I guess we'll take
I mean,
this.
in comparison to Anderson, Gallows is the big one. Why would they do that? Like,
I mean, they just put Enzo back in his place. He didn't want him to get the big head after he got the win last night.
I mean, they treat him like the redheaded stepchild. What Enzo ever do but be good on the mic?
Well, hopefully they won't take too long to either give him the belts and let him get a quick run and then transition him to being a manager or a commentator or
Sounds
something
like it's a cup of haters in the back. That's all.
where he can talk full time. So.
Yes.
Oh, my bad. Sorry about that.
We
Come
about
on,
to have
segue music.
a promo or something about to happen.
This is
I
not a
was about to
spot.
cut a promo.
All right, like it's now a good time to talk to y'all about busted tees. Like, what?
Oh, we at the halftime. We at
Right.
halftime already.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I apologize. That was my fault.
All right, so next we get Neville and TJ Perkins. They have a promo backstage. Basically, TJ Perkins is questioning Neville, talking about he didn't think Aries was on the Neville level, and that the way that he won was kind of fishy, and made him look kind of weak. And he was like, "No, the only thing you need to worry about is our problem." Austin Aries. So next we get Seth Rollins promo, and he goes over his recent big match winning streak, where he says he beat Triple H. He took care of Samoa Joe last night. He declares that he wants the Beast, Brock Lesnar, and he wants to get his shot at the Universal title. Well, then that causes Finn Balor to come out. Finn says that the line for the Universal title starts behind him, which leads to Dean Ambrose coming out. Dean talks trash about Brock Lesnar. Dean says that Raw should be about fighting champions, and he's holding the number one belt on Raw, which causes The Miz to come out. Miz comes out. He runs down all three of them and declares that none of them deserve to be the Intercontinental Champion. Dean calls Kurt Angle on his telephone, who makes it between The Miz, Seth Rollins, and Finn Balor. Thoughts on that little piece of business right there?
I like that little setup. it was just funny when Dean pulled out the phone and called Kirk, and it was like, "Oh, Foley gave me your number." Try to play it off, but I mean, I
Had
kind of
Dean. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was just saying I like that whole setup.
Yeah, they had Dean trying to go back to the comedy.
He's not
This
funny though.
If all this ends up with Dean Ambrose without a belt at the end of it, I'm with it.
Same.
See, that's why you two. That's why you two
man.
get along, Dee and Wally.
I see.
I feel like he does more to devalue a belt than anyone I've ever seen. And he doesn't necessarily even need a belt to stay at the level he's at. But every time he has a belt, that belt that he's carrying feels like it's nothing. Even when he had the world title, it just felt like it was nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. That's what I was just about to say. He's better chasing the belt, but he's not. He's like Randy Orton. When he's going for the belt, it's all good. But once he gets the belt, everything changes, and it's not so good no more.
Nah, it's not good at all.
So,
Even back during the Shield days when he had the U.S. belt for all that time,
Bruh, he
no
had
one cared
that
about that belt.
no title defenses in like months, and he was just like,
It was
whatever.
so crazy, man. It's weird. So just anything that gets a belt off of him, and I don't even dislike Dean Ambrose. You know what I'm saying? Like Dean Ambrose, you know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
But I just anytime he got a belt, man, I'm like, you gotta take it off him because it ain't working.
Next, we get our cruiserweight match. We get Tony Nese, Brian Kendrick, and Noam Dar versus Rich Swann, Akira Tozawa, and Jack Gallagher. Jack Gallagher hits a gentleman drop kick in the corner, and his team gets the win. I think they kind of hit something here with these cruiserweight tag team matches. They can get more people in, and they can kind of do a couple good spots, tandem spots, things like that to get the people on their feet. Because I heard a good thing today that said maybe they should stop changing the ropes and stop changing the mat because that's like an instant tune out because you have to have so much time
Right.
in between to do that stuff, and it kind of takes the crowd out of it. So by the time they start wrestling, the crowds kind of lost some of their juice because they had to wait. Just a thought.
That's a smart thing.
And Purple Rose is just trash anyway, just all together.
Sheamus and Cesaro cut their promo on their heel turn from last night. After they're finished, Hardy's boys come out and they cut a small promo. Then the Hardy boys rush the ring, but Sheamus and Cesaro bail out. What you think about the jackets, Dee?
Whose jackets?
Sheamus and Cesaro's.
They had on jackets?
You ain't noticed that jacket was fly.
Yeah, they were fresh with the flags on the sleeves.
Yeah.
They had jackets with flags on the sleeves?
Yeah, one of them had the Swiss flag on the sleeve, and the other one had the Irish flag on it.
How nice. Missed it.
What was they called? What did they call them? The Swiss. They would call them something. They called them something like crazy names. I think
don't know.
he called them the Swiss Cyborg or something like that, and the Alabasta. Something they was something that they was calling them. I was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
They're just the Europeans to me.
Right.
I don't know about the we don't set the bar, we are the bar, but
I like that.
They can work on it.
I like that. And then Michael Cole made a point to say, but they don't have the title, so how can y'all set the bar?
Well, like I said, they can work on it.
And then Sheamus, he made a point. He was like, I never liked y'all anyway. He'd be like a redheaded stepchild. But Cesaro, he had the Cesaro section, and he believed in this thing. It's like, well, he still have a Cesaro section, I'm just wondering, is this heel turn for Cesaro's going to make you care about Sheamus anymore? Or just going back to, everybody's like, oh, Sheamus is out there, blah, blah, blah.
It seems like they turned them a little too fast because it seems like they were just hitting their stride as the team. But I guess with the Hardys coming back in, they got to make somebody heel.
And you knew it was coming after the 2 weeks of handshakes and everything. I was like, yeah. And then at the
Yeah.
pay per view, the turn was like, this was coming. Saw it a mile away, and then here they come cutting the promo on Monday night.
Yeah, because I mean, how many times are y'all gonna shake hands? Like, what are we doing?
Code of honor.
No.
Say Ring of Honor, man.
I
Come
was just
on.
about to say that. Code of honor.
All right, so we get a Miz promo on tonight's main event, which was interrupted by Dean Ambrose, who took over the interview, and the Miz just walks off disgusted.
Correct.
So we get our new favorite.
Hold on.
My bad.
Hold on. Don't forget when he's threw it back to Bobby
yeah.
and Jean.
yeah. He is. He's actually throwing it back, which I know Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon were pissed about.
It was. I just thought it was funny. I was like, you just say Bobby and Jean. I was like, wow.
But if you ever notice, whenever the girls finish an interview, they just stand there, and then the camera just looks at them
pans
for like
and it
10
just
seconds.
away,
Right.
And roll it back. Yeah.
Right. So it's like he's making fun of two things. So next we get our favorite Apollo Crews and the Titus bring with him as his like official manager now versus Heath Slater, as they had a little confrontation about who had the best parenting advice, Heath Slater, who got his 3 kids in a double wide, or Titus, who has been labeled the father of the year multiple years now. So they had a match. Apollo Crews gets the win with the sit-out powerbomb. Of course, they take the first time Rhino photobombs the selfie, which is pretty funny. So I think the funniest thing I heard was the first week they did this, but somebody was like, Apollo Crews looks like his dad. Titus was his dad.
Like your dad just showed back up after all these years.
Right. So that's pretty good. Hopefully this thing with Apollo Crews works out, man. I want to see him be good. I want to see him.
Now, if it's a manager role for
Titus, carry a belt.
What y'all think of Titus as a manager?
That's what I'm about to say. If this manager role for Titus it should be good because, I mean, he's good in the ring and everything, but if he's better off on the outside as a mouthpiece and a motivator and whatnot, this is what Apollo Crews needs.
Right, but I don't know, man. I forgot. Y'all saw Titus fucked up this week, right? You put that picture out.
No picture.
It's a picture with like him.
Oh yeah, they over in Italy. That's right.
It's like him, Kurt Hawkins, a couple of other jobbers, but then on the ends, on the two edges of the picture, it's freaking Braun and Roman.
Oh no. Kayfabe, damn it.
Yeah, it's like kayfabe is dead.
and he tried to take it down, but damn it, 50 million people on Twitter done seen that.
Yeah.
And they follow.
Why is Bray and Roman even posing for pictures together?
I guess they say it when
if
the cameras are off.
If they not at Make-A-Wish, they don't need to be doing that shit.
When the cameras are off,
they can like wink and wave. No photos. What is you doing?
Think about it. That's what happened. That's what got when they took that picture of Luke Harper, the Luke Harper shirts they had. That's what got a bunch of them in trouble too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so hopefully, man. I mean, he just finally recovered from freaking pushing Vince McMahon for not really pushing, but putting his hands on Vince McMahon. So hopefully Vince can let this slide and not kill this, because Apollo Crews next week might be doing something totally different due to freaking Titus. Titus in this picture thing. So.
But a lot of things, if you think about it, Titus has been involved with a lot of people losing their jobs. Like when they had the Abraham Washington, that guy or whatever, he got fired because he was their manager or whatever. And then Goldust got fired when he was a producer backstage one time because of something they did. I don't know, just like Titus be fucking up. He be messing up and everything, and people be getting like the brunt of the punishment because of stuff that he did.
Well, hopefully it doesn't fall back on Apollo Crews this time. So Kurt Angle comes out to address the crowd on the condition of both Roman and Braun. Kurt says that Roman re-injured his shoulder and has internal injuries. Angle says that Braun has a torn rotator Bray Wyatt comes out and Bray cuts a Bray Wyatt promo. I don't know why they can't make him say cool things, but make it actually mean something. They were starting to do that on SmackDown. Like they finally had found it. A couple of those promos was actually real good. He was still talking that yang, as I like to call it, but you can actually follow it, and it actually led. This he just is like rambling on. It's like DOS effects. It sounds really cool. It sounds really intricate. But then if you were to read it on a piece of paper, you'd be like, oh, they ain't saying nothing.
Nothing at all.
So I don't know. That's just my only thing. I think that's the only thing that they keep missing with Bray is like when we first started doing this podcast, I thought his matches didn't connect. I thought his promos and the entrance, everything was real cool. And then he get in the ring and his matches were flat. He's kind of fixed that. And his matches are now where they need to be. But his promos are still like hit or miss just because it's so can't follow it good enough. Even though it is supposed to be mystical and supposed to be like that sermon type promo, you still need to be able to follow it. Anyway, Dean comes in, cuts a promo with Seth Rollins, who was just totally befuddled. Like, why are you even back here? He's like, well, man, his camera's back here, so we might as well do this. And then they kind of have like a little comedy promo backstage. Time for some more purple ropes. Austin Aries versus TJ Perkins. TJ Perkins tries for the detonation, goes into the last chancery, and Perkins taps out. After the match, TJ Perkins attacks Aries' knee and locked on the knee bar. So Aries continues his win streak. TJ Perkins continues his heel run. So good piece of business by both right there. Didi, what's your gimmick?
I am a grown-ass woman, dog.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we get a Finn Balor interview now with Dean Ambrose. Dean tells Finn to eat some carbs and gives him a donut. Then the Drifter just threw the promo. Dean is digging the music and asked the Drifter if he knew any Pearl Jam. So that was pretty funny.
He just looks at him and walks away.
Yo, man, like, look, in NXT, I hated Elias Sampson. I hated him. You know what I'm saying? But I can't front. Him just showing up in random places, just walking by and not saying anything, and not stopping, not interrupting nothing, just walking by.
He's just walking, playing his guitar.
Yo, I'm interested again. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It got me interested again. I hope they do something cool with it because they turned something that was garbage into something that's interesting. With
the last 2 weeks that he was on NXT when he had the then he lost and then he came back under the mask, but just like he was doing the same thing just under the mask. Yeah, ever since then, man, he's really like been on to something. So yeah, good job for Elias Sampson. Next up, we got Gold on the strength of What Sleep Though, going on the podcast giving him the rub. He saw me in the Kurt Angle for a tag team title match for the Golden Truth. Angle says that he can't give them a title shot because their win-loss record was terrible. So they beg a little bit more for a chance, and Angle says that next week he's going to make a tag team turmoil match for the number one contender, and that they will get their chance in that match.
I loved everything about that just backstage segment. I loved everything about it. It was great to me.
Hey man, Goldust is man. They had now we're recording this is May the 4th. So on their WWE YouTube channel today, they had the Booker T joint where he was dressed up as Darth Vader.
Mm-hmm.
Booker T had the lightsaber. You forget about just how much of a run he's had from being the natural Dustin Rhodes back at WCW to up through becoming Goldust. That initial run that he had when Scott Hall didn't want to work with him and they were getting so much heat because of the androgynous character or whatever, and then him kind of having like this new renaissance, coming back in better shape than he's ever been, and
wrestling better than he's ever been. He finally clean and sober. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's good for him. But then you see Michael Cole tried to play Booker T when he was like shattered dreams and everything, and then he says that Booker T could be a great actor like David Otunga, and Booker T like he just wanted to hit him. He had this look in his face like he just wanted to hit him, but he kept it professional.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm telling you,
Then we
man.
go.
That was that Harlem Heat Booker coming back out,
Right,
man.
I see what you mean. And
Booker
Harlem
need to
Heat
let
Booker,
it. He need to let it out, man.
and Harlem Heat Booker, he was about to
Man,
let
look,
loose.
Booker T need to come down to the commentator table with that breathe right strip on his nose. Get it cracking. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes.
And let's get this Harlem Heat thing cracking again, bro.
Oh, man. He about
Like,
to really.
look, he need to look Sterling James Keenan and Michael Cole in their eye and be like, look, if y'all say some trash, I'm gonna knock both of y'all out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
We need that, man. We need that Harlem Heat
Definitely.
Booker T back on the commentary
Oh
table.
man, that Harlem Heat. You just maybe gonna pull up the network and just watch just some old Booker.
Man, go watch that match. That match when they beat. I forgot who they beat, but it was at one of them. I forgot if it was Hog Wild or Roll Wild, where they was like they was getting like booed out of. You know what I'm saying?
I think it was the
Yeah.
Steiner Brothers. Steiner Brothers in '97. I think that was.
Oh man, that match is good because you can see Booker and Stevie Ray like seething, wanting to really go whoop somebody's ass, but they kept it professional and the match started getting stiffer and stiffer as it went on. It's good.
I think y'all talk about that in the old promo, Don. Then y'all talk about that match in the old episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. You guys, I remember that.
Yeah, man.
Check that out.
Yeah, because if you ever hear Booker T or Stevie Ray talk about it, come on, Sturgis, he's like, man, he's like Texas, we from Houston, we've been Atlanta, we've been used to racism, whatever. He's like, but man, up there, he is like, that's a whole different program up there. He is like, it's a whole place where nobody liked this. He was like, at least in Atlanta, we could find a white person here or there that actually liked this. He was like, there, then nobody would not know this.
Nobody was messing with us.
You know what I'm saying? Well, what two big old, near 300-pound black dudes gonna do in South Dakota but get looked at like they crazy? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you, bro.
So for the Raw main event, we have Miz, Finn Balor, and Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental title #1 contenders match. After Rollins hits back-to-back suicide dives on the Miz and Finn Balor, Samoa Joe appears and gives Rollins a rock bottom on the floor. That jump was so swift and had so much impact. Good gracious. Back in the ring, Finn hits Miz with the sling blade, followed by the shotgun. Finn goes up to the top when the lights go out. When the lights come back on, Bray is here. Bray knocks Finn off the top rope. Bray follows that up with the sister Abigail, which allows the Miz to make the cover and get the win. And Miz is the #1 contender for the IC title. It looked like the Miz had like bruised ribs on that suicide dive when he hit the barricade because he was gasping for breath.
Yeah,
I think he said,
hit
"Oh
that
shit!"
hard.
Yeah, I think he was the one who said, "Oh shit, Dee on live TV." They had to bleep it out. And when he was standing at the top of the ramp, he was talking to Maurice like, "I'm done" or something like that. Like you could literally hear him. Yeah, he was hurting. But this was a fine match.
It was.
If you don't have respect for the Miz after this match, then you ain't gonna never have respect for the man because he hung in there with two of the internet darlings and went move for move with him.
Move for move. You know what I'm saying?
He was definitely like, I was like, this is a great match, and Miz is having a great showing as well, aside from what Seth and Finn is doing. I'm like, I don't know why people keep sleeping on him.
He's gonna be a Hall of Famer.
He is a Hall of Famer right now.
He is.
For sure.
He go. Oh, what? Once he get that call, he gonna come and talk all that cash. He gonna talk about JBL. He gonna talk about everybody in the locker room. Didn't believe in them.
Yeah,
as he should, man. That he had, the Miz is a clear cut case of doing what you say you want to do. You know what I'm saying?
It just think about it. He's been real consistent. The only thing is, I mean, he's a natural heel. I don't like when they turn him face because then it's just like, okay, he's just getting beat up. in a face role, whatever. But he's heel. He's one of the top ones in the company, and I just wish they just let him just do what he does and just, especially talking smack. What?
You think
Yeah.
they're gonna put the big belt on him within the next year or so?
I don't
Well,
know.
let me ask this. Let me ask this. You think they should put the big belt, one of the big belts on him before the year?
They should. Definitely should give him another title run and everything.
I think he should have got it on SmackDown though, just because what he did for talking smack. It kind of like it would have been like his reward for making that into something. Like they've tried to make Raw Talk into something, but they just don't have it. Between Daniel Bryan and Renee, they just have this like chemistry and symmetry to that show that just makes it work. And then that Miz promo really made it like, oh, we need to start watching this. If this what it's going to be like, then we need to start watching this.
Like as soon as he cut that promo, I was just like, oh, we got to tune in on after SmackDown goes off because this went off, and I was just like, yo, is this real? Is this real life? And then it was just like the reaction from it. They was like, okay, we got something here, but they just.
I think Renee Young is a big part of that too, man. I really, really appreciate the seriousness with what she does, with the way she does her job. Like she even though everybody knows this shit is scripted or whatever, she treats this like it's real news and reports it like it's real news. You know what I'm saying? And that can, you can tell when somebody's just regurgitating lines that are being fed, but she is selling everything like this is the most important thing in the WWE right now.
Right.
The competition is, she seems to place emphasis on the actual work that's being done versus just trying to entertain. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I appreciate that. And I think that's part of why Talk Smack works as well as it does too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, just wrapping up Raw, the next pay-per-view is going to be Extreme Rules, and they have basically set up the big, basically probably 4 matches, as you're probably going to get another rematch between Braun and Roman, probably going to be like an ambulance match or a stretcher match, something to that extent. And Bray Wyatt, then you're going to have Miz and Dean for the IC title, and then you're going to have Seth and Samoa Joe again. So, they kind of did a lot in that main event in that whatever that was, 20 minutes of time that they had. They did a lot moving forward. So that was a really good Raw. I think
I might need to be in the building for that one.
A lot of gummy bears. I guess about 8. DD, what you think?
Yeah, sure. 8 is good.
All right.
Yeah.
So you ready? We're going to move into your territory now.
To jiggle. Well, I'm sorry.
It's hashtag SmackDown Matters.
SmackDown Matters. Hashtag Fresno Matters. I mean, I guess since that's where SmackDown was this week. Oh, we're still doing the drinking game, so have fun with that. Shane came out to the ring to start the show.
That's 2.
Yeah. It's gonna be fun stuff. Damn. 3. It's the Red Bull. He introduces the fans to the newest SmackDown superstar, U.S. champ Chris Jericho. Jericho calls this a special night because it's the show of Jericho. Smack it down, man. And Shane says there are a lot of guys who want a dream match with Jericho, but first he's going to have to defend the title against Kevin Owens. AJ interrupts. He acknowledges their feud. He says there was at one point Y2 AJ shirts, and he would love to take the title from Jericho at Backlash, assuming he wins tonight. Jericho tells AJ that since he made Owens tap out, there's a new face of America. And then Jericho's about to put him on the list, but Kevin interrupts. They chant, "You tapped out," the crowd does. And then Owens is like he's going to win his title back. And he says AJ shouldn't even be out there. He's going to do some more stuff, but AJ's with the shits, and he goes to beat his ass up. Some officials run down to try to break it up. and that's it.
Oh, you
Um,
forgot the beginning, the very,
what?
very beginning
What did I forget?
when Jinder was up there doing his GQ with the belt, and
Oh yeah,
and
he
Shane
was
rolled
doing
up
that.
on him
Oh,
and
I
took
didn't
the
see
belt
that.
back.
I didn't see
Oh,
that.
Yeah, he was to get my. He like get my good side.
Mm.
um, what was I about to say about this segment? Oh, what you think about the Smack It Down, man? I thought he was gonna hit the flip it up and rub it down, but I was like, that would have been too good by Jericho right there.
That'd have been proving he's
If
been
y'all
hanging with
haven't noticed.
Xavier and them. Like that's just
They'd
that's
be
a
like,
little too
"What?"
far.
Fans would be like, "What? What is this smack it up flip it?"
What does that mean? All the black people be like, mm-hmm.
I said, "We know."
What do you think about your Bay Kevin Owens being less chunky?
He has lost weight. I don't know who told him that was okay. I'm Team Fat Man. I don't want to svelte Kevin Owens. What? Who wants that?
Vince McMahon.
Team Teddy Bear. God damn it. I want a skinty man. That's what Seth Rollins is for. That's what Finn Balor is for. I don't need you in a size medium. Wear your extra large. Wear your double XL, boo. It's
For all the beer swelling, waffle
okay.
eating, bacon grease drinking,
Right?
no, well,
Listen, you not for
halfway
me if you don't
decent
save your
guys
bacon
out
grease.
there. Didi Jonay is here for you.
You not for me if you don't save your bacon grease. Like, that's just facts. That's what I need in my life. Anyway, if we can move on.
Certainly, ma'am.
Did I miss anything else?
No, you're good. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. Because I honestly did miss it. There's a Shinsuke commercial, and I only care because it's Shinsuke. But for FYI, AJ is banned from ringside for the U.S. title match later on tonight. Next is Jinder versus Arbe Sammy. They showed the video of Baron Corbin beating that ass on Talking Smack last week, and they show Jinder hindering Randy Orton at Payback. Sammy's in control for a lot of it, but after the commercial, the Singh brothers or the Bollywood boys, whatever you call them, distracted Sammy, which allowed Jinder to take over. Yeah, that's that word again. Sammy kicks out of a knee lift, comes back with a clothesline. Sammy's distracted again.
Take a drink.
Hold up, let's do it.
Which allows Jinder to apply a small package. Oh, wait, that wasn't the end either. Then there was a tornado DDT. He goes for the haluva kick, but then there's another distraction. This time for the referee.
Come on, never drink. Come on, Didi, keep up.
And then one of them grabs Sammy by the leg, which allows Jinder to nail him with a full Nelson slam for the win. 3 distractions in one match. You're welcome.
So I have a question. Was it funny when they I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, they called them the Bollywood boys, but then right in the middle of the same
they did.
segment, they called them the Singh brothers. I was like,
Yeah.
who made that audible from backstage?
Mm-hmm. Vincent K.
It was like, you idiot, it's the Singh brothers.
I was like, hold up. I was like, that was
Now,
No, because I remember that because I was like, I thought y'all told me they changed the name from the Bollywood Boys, and then he was like, oh, the Singh brothers, and I was like, oh, you fucked up.
mm-hmm. My question is this: did Baron Corbin really get suspended for beating up Sami Zayn, or for murdering that referee when he pushed him down?
I think it was the referee. Yeah, they say he was suspended for a week. That's why he wasn't on there.
Yeah, because he destroyed that referee.
He did. Probably told the referee, all right, so you're gonna take this bump
and that was the next night after the referee fell out of the ring from the Big Show Braun Strowman match. So it was like a rough week for the referees.
For real, references.
They went through bump school. Backstage, young orange hair ran into Natty, Carmella. Oh fuck! She called them her
Becky
4
with
favorite
the red
ladies.
hair.
She called them her 4 favorite ladies. They are Natty, Carmella, Tamina, and James Ellsworth. That's so shady. They tell Becky she's the one who should be getting a title shot since she was the number 1 draft pick, not Charlotte. And she's like, listen, we'll be on your side. We'll have your back. And she's like, I'll think about it. If you know Becky, you already know what she decided, but we'll get there. There's another Nakamura video, and then Ziggles is backstage complaining to strangers about Nakamura. He says he's not even here tonight, and then the crowd is sad. And he said he hasn't even proven himself on SmackDown yet. And then Shane comes up and is like, okay, but do you know who you're talking about? And then Ziggles is like, he only has a cool entrance. He ain't nobody. And tonight, he will prove himself against Sin Cara, a.k.a. Mr. Whip That Ass, but only in the back, not on screen. And yeah, the next match is actually Ty Dillinger versus Aiden English. Aiden English started singing for some reason.
That was the old gimmick back in NXT.
Oh,
Yeah.
was it?
Yeah.
Are you happy to see that return, or how do you feel about
I was
that?
just like, oh, we doing that. You going back to that?
I like it.
I was like, that's what we doing. Let's go.
Wally, you like it?
Yeah, it's funny. It was funny back then. It's still funny now. At least it is to me.
It's interesting, but because I didn't see him in the NXT, it was very like, what the hell
Yeah,
are you doing?
but yeah, and to he ain't got that bad of a singing voice.
No, he
No,
sounds
he
okay.
don't.
He sounds perfectly fine. Better than a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah, but that's every time I hear him see him do that, it makes me laugh.
I mean, he gotta have something to do.
Mm-hmm.
So Ty Dillinger won with a fireman's carry into a face buster. And then Aiden English threw a tantrum after losing, tears included. Renee's backstage to interview Chris Jericho, but he sees Aiden and he's like, what are you crying for? What is your problem? And so then he's like, listen, life is great. You need to be put on the list. So and then he put Renee on the list, or Ronnie on the list too. Was that Renee or was that some other white girl?
No, that was Renee. I was just about to say, but she looked different. Her face looked totally
That
different.
didn't look like Renee.
It was her, though, because that was the same girl who was on Talking Smack with that red shirt on.
That's weird. Maybe she's a twin. Maybe they switched her out.
Is Dasha still there?
It's that.
Yeah, Daisy's still around.
It's that. Week of being a newlywed to Dean Ambrose.
Oh yeah, I forgot. She is married.
Fucks you up because that didn't look nothing like her. I was just like, she's different. I didn't even know that was Renee. And apparently Chris didn't either because he called her Ronnie. But after Chris Jericho put them both on the list, Aiden was still crying. Later in the back, Charlotte tells Daisy that SmackDown Women's title is her destiny. And then she's interrupted by the welcoming committee. She beats up Carmella, but then they all beat her ass. So it's good stuff. Except for the fact that it's supposed to be the start of a tag match, Nadia and Carmella versus Naomi and Charlotte. So Naomi comes out, does her little dance, and Charlotte's nowhere to be seen because Charlotte got her ass beat. So for right now, it's 2-on-1. Carmella's trying to kick Naomi. Naomi's looking at her like, what?
She couldn't even make her thigh.
Didn't even make the booty jiggle. Not a ripple, not a divot, nothing. It was just like, okay. Awkward. But then Naomi, she got them thick legs, so when she kicked, it hurt. Pushes Carmella halfway across the ring and all that. So it's going good for Naomi until it's not. Charlotte's music hits. She slow walks to the ring, and she's like, "Get me in for the tag." And then she was basically bullshitting. She kind of hurt, but she wasn't that hurt because she's doing her business. It's great. It's wonderful. It's nice. But guess what happens? Naomi kicks Natalya off the ring apron, but then Ellsworth distracted her. And then Carmella was able to roll Naomi up for the win. Amazing how that happened. And then, in things that don't make sense to me, Charlotte and Naomi got their asses beat because Tamina is Naomi's cousin. How you gonna beat your little cousin up? Now, what I did notice was she kind of hit Naomi like twice, and then she moved on to Charlotte. Like she was like, "Oh fuck, we're family. Let me go over there."
Right. I was like, wait. I'm like, y'all
by marriage.
I said, hey, by marriage, y'all. Well, I guess
she might not like. Well, that's the falsehood because they were in Team Bad. Yes, they were in Team Bad.
They're family. Listen
Power
here.
to the
If they
people.
can adopt everybody else in Samoa except Joe, they can adopt Naomi. They're related. You can't be beating up your cousin.
Like, oh wait, that's what we awkward at the family dinners.
Mad awkward. Like I'm sure Jimmy looking at her like, really? You just gonna beat up my wife? Like this is what you do? Ridiculous. But anyway, after the mess, they beat up Charlotte and Naomi. Becky runs down, and Becky's like, "Okay, I'll join you." So she gives Natalia a hug, and then she gives Carmella a hug, and then James goes for a hug, and she's like, psh. But then she kind of like grabs him, like, "Yeah, I'll give you a hug," and then she throws him into Carmella and Naomi, and then she's beating up all the girls. But you can't beat people up 3-on-1, so of course, eventually Becky
The
gets her ass
numbers.
beat
Tamina with the
because
super kick.
yeah,
Yes.
because she's what? Still a snooker. So it's like, yeah, this is what happens. Becky gets her ass beat, making piss poor life choices to what? Go it alone? Like, when has that ever done you any good? Like,
Now, what I do like is that they're doing this like 6-woman tag match to divert away from giving us the like rematch to Charlotte and Naomi.
oh, I
Yes.
definitely appreciate that because
To,
let's
to
delay that.
yes, to push it back to something like bigger, hopefully, like SummerSlam. Like hopefully they can get through the next couple of
I
months
don't
without
want
them.
Naomi to lose at SummerSlam.
Who says she gotta lose?
Oh, please. Oh, please. You know how they do. It was a miracle she got WrestleMania.
That's true.
Thank the good Lord
WWE,
for the science and doctors.
WWE,
Right.
like, I don't even know how to say it without being nasty, but like they jizz on themselves for Charlotte. Like they just, it's, what was that? AdamandEveToys.com? Like, okay, so like,
Well,
yeah. Well, my
Photo
comment did
toy.
kind of slide on into it, but yeah, like they're just so pressed over Charlotte that it's just like I don't even believe it. Like that they would even let Naomi get some time on it. She deserves it, but I don't see it for her. But anyway. Next, Ziggles fought Sin Cara. Sin Cara only wins matches in the back. Ziggles caught him with a super kick for the win. Lana's still dancing on that chair.
Oh my God! Stop it, please.
Still doing that new outfits every week though. When will your fade?
Who thought it was a good idea for Lana to wrestle? Who had that idea? Who was like,
Somebody.
hey, you know it's a good idea? Let's break up Rusev and Lana and have Lana be a wrestler.
Is she gonna be a
Somebody.
wrestler?
Yes.
Yes.
She was that at NXT getting her wrestle on.
Are you sure?
For sure.
If you ever go Google and you will see the NXT live events, she's been wrestling.
And she's been dancing. Like her entrance is the dance.
Is she still doing that
Right.
hip hop jazz? Like, yeah.
Yes. I'm like,
Oh, that's awful.
wow.
bad.
I'm like, what do we do to deserve this?
That shit is so bad.
Oh, it's awful. It is awful, man.
You know, I used to watch my 600-pound life while we recorded. I've moved on.
Oh, what have you graduated up to now?
Now I watch Dr. Miami, so like now I'm watching like breast lifts and shit, tummy tucks.
Oh, yeah.
It's amazing.
With Dr. Miami?
Yeah, he's not just on the Snapchat anymore. Anyway.
Oh, I know that. I was kind of shocked when I saw he got a show.
Who says that social media ain't real? Keep grinding out here, folks.
Keep making that money. We about to use the social media so we can get the WrestleMania.
For real.
That's right. That man went from Snapchat 5-6-second videos to a whole TV show.
Yeah, shit is trash though, but I like seeing all the surgery on a big screen. It make me happy. Anyway, next there's a Law and Order spoof called The Fashion Files, starring Breezango.
This was hilarious.
They went over the case files of the Uggos/Usos. They ran down a list of crimes, and they say the big bust will go down on May 21st at Backlash.
That shit where he was like, "That's jaywalking," and Jimmy too. That shit was funny.
I was rolling.
Did you see all the pictures in the back? We had like Cena up there and all the people. Yeah, that's good stuff, man. Finally, they got
something with them. I'm glad they're doing something with them. They needed it.
Yeah, Tyler Breeze is too talented not to get something going on, man. He can go.
I've not seen the talents of Tyler Breeze. I do
Oh,
know that he's really good with a selfie stick.
yes, yes. Those last few days of his NXT run, he got jobbed out, but before he was killing it.
Yep.
All right, next is your main event of the night: Kevin Owens versus the Jericho of Chris's. Um, there's that word again. Jericho applied the walls twice. Owens got to the ropes. Owens caught Jericho when he went for a baseball slide, and he gets him with a super kick, followed by a DDT near the ramp. There's another super kick in the ring, but Jericho kicks out. Jericho puts Owens in a small package. Owens kicks out, then kicks him in the head, then nails him with the pop-up powerbomb for the win. And Kevin is your new champion.
48 hours.
Listen, but he won when
Yeah.
I played Who You Got. So anyway, after the match, but before the show goes off, the personnel check on Jericho, and I thought I saw a woman. I was like, look at her. They say, oh, Jericho must be hurt due to that DDT on the outside. And then Owens does what Owens does. Hops back in the ring and gives Jericho another pop-up powerbomb. And he says, you were never my best
Oh, they're so good, man.
friend. And then he tried to throw Jericho into the ropes, but Jericho just collapses because Jericho is actually old as hell. He just does DDT yoga.
DDP.
Sure. More officials were
DDP. DDT
I've
yoga.
been drinking vodka. Leave me alone. Owens poses with the title. Oh, Jericho gets up and Owens attacks him again, grabs a chair from outside, wraps it around Jericho's head, and tosses him into a ring post. And then your SmackDown is done for this week.
The injury of Jericho. Write me off, man.
He got to go on tour with Fozzy.
Yep.
That music got the nerve to be good. Because I heard it when I was listening to Jericho's podcast. That song is actually good. I was shocked.
So I have a question. Why are they referring to Nakamura as the artist formerly known as Sensei Nakamura? I I I, I just want to know who's responsible for this so we can properly cuss them out.
I'm sure some Caucasian in the back.
Better not change his name, bro. I'll be so pissed off.
They talking about the artist formerly known as. I was like, what? He's not Prince Rogers Nelson. Don't do that.
Right, and it's Michael Jackson, not Prince, that he's influenced by that he looks like. So yeah, it's all messed up.
Right. I'm like, do y'all know what y'all doing?
Nope. I can answer that question for you. Nope.
So I can't wait for him to kick Dolph Ziggler's head off.
Oh my God.
Man, I can't wait for that.
It's gonna be amazing.
And what I love about it is it probably won't happen until Backlash, and he probably won't even wrestle. And it's gonna be so good when you finally do see him. It's gonna feel awesome.
That's what keep advertising. It's like advertising the match. His first match is gonna be at Backlash.
I'm glad to see that they recognize that he is a generational talent. You know what I'm saying? And they're treating him like one. Like Nakamura is a star. He was a star before he got there. He became a bigger star once he got to the WWE. And now, I mean, he stayed a star doing his 2-year stint in NXT the whole time.
Yep.
And now that he came in to SmackDown Live. Yo, man, all he did was come in. All he did was just show up. Didn't say a word. And got like the pop of the night on one of your main TV shows.
When he showed up, I was just like, this is lit. And he had the black dude play the violin again.
Just like Dee Dee's friend, just like with her friend that she was talking about. I mean, like my buddy too, when he came into NXT last year, they didn't know anything. Just the way he comes to the ring, you're like, this dude is somebody that I need to sit down and watch. And not everybody has that when they come to the ring. I saw that when I saw she came to the ring. I was like, yo, I don't know if she can wrestle or not, but just by her coming to the ring, she has a chance to really make it in this business, because a lot of it is just how you carry yourself. Some guys can wrestle their ass off, but they can't carry themselves outside the ring to make you want to root for them or not like them, whichever way they want you to play it. And I think that's one of the biggest things that helps out, some of those wrestlers like we've been talking about earlier. So, all right, at this time, please support our sponsors. Go to www.cspn.us. Click on the banner at the top of the page that says put to them the code for the one and no AdamandEve.com. Didi, I need the code.
Oh, for what? Oh, toy?
Adam and Eve.
Oh, toy.
Say it again.
Oh, toy.
Right.
That's all I can do. I'm no Siege.
Right.
I can only do what I can do.
If you have a wife and you've made her a mother, Mother's Day is coming up.
Yes, it is.
Find a way to pleasure her. Treat her.
Yeah.
Do the Saron Russell and try to make another.
Oh God, no!
She don't want no babies for Mother's Day. I could tell you that.
And do that with the help of Adam and Eve. And 50% off at Adam and Eve through cspn.us. It's right there for you, fellas. I'm telling you now. Anything you want. And it's half off. Not just the actual price of the product is half off. You can't beat it.
You know what I want?
What's up?
To not have another baby.
Well, they sell condoms on AdamandEveToys.com too, I'm sure.
Word.
By bulk. Yeah, so you get 100 at a time if you need to. 50 at a time if you need them. So, yes, AdamandEve.com through cspn.us. And the code is, Didi?
Oh, toy.
All right. So 205 Live, really quick. Lenzo Dorado versus TJ Perkins. It was good to see Lindsay Dorado back on the scene. Dorado hits the sunset flip on TJ Perkins, but TJ Perkins, he tries to rip off Lindsay's mask, and that actually makes him have to break the hold because you got to protect the integrity of the mask. Once Perkins got free, he applied the knee bar, and Dorado taps out. It's a really cool match. TJ Perkins is actually really doing really good with this heel character. They still need to change that music, though. And
the whole entrance.
Yeah, and once they do that, he'll be on his way. Got Corey Graves. This is Kendrick. He does an interview about Akira Tozawa. Kendrick talks about their relationship prior to WWE and his desire to be a mentor to Tozawa. He thinks that Tozawa has lost focus, and then Kendrick declared that he wasn't playing around with Tozawa any longer. At that moment, Tozawa kicks Kendrick out of his chair and says that the next lesson is always end an interview with an impact. Yeah, this was pretty good. He knocked the bejesus out of Brian Kendrick. It's like, where the hell he come from? So next, Mustafa Ali versus Drew Gulak. Of course, Drew Gulak's thing is, no fly zone is his thing. So after finally making it up to the top rope, countered by Drew Gulak getting his knees up. Gulak then rolls up Ali and gets the win. Gulak then does a post-match promo, and he says that this win was validation of his no-fly zone campaign. Then we get a recap of the love affair between Noam Dar and Alicia Fox, and we get our main Noam Dar versus Rich Homie Swann. Please say the homie. Dar trips Rich on the apron, which causes Rich to hurt his arm. Rich then hits the Phoenix Splash, but only gets a 2 count because he landed on his arm and was slow to make the pin. As Rich was headed up to the top rope, Noam Dar kicked his leg out from underneath him. Noam then laid in a few kicks to the bad arm of Rich Swann. Then Noam hit his running kick to get the win. After the match, Alicia Fox comes out and gets back with Noam Dar because he's a winner again. Couple of wins under my belt. She'll love me again. I really think if Noam Dar and Alicia Fox could really be this modern day Baby Doll and Tully Blanchard, if they and did that, could be great together. But we'll see. So we're gonna move into NXT. Mo, did you catch this week's NXT?
Sure did.
This was a pretty decent one. Danny Burch versus Killian Dane is our opener. After a shotgun drop kick, actually, the same one that Finn Balor does. Killian Dane gives Danny Burch the one-wing angel and gets the win. He calls it something plantation, and I refuse to use that name just because it has plantation in the name. Sorry.
Right.
So we'll stick with the one winged angel. Yeah, Killian Dane, aka Big Damo. Yeah, he's got big plans. Vince has got plans for him.
So listen. When I was just remembering when he was in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and how he got a big rub in that match. He was like one of the final four, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like came away impressed. So definitely once he gets some more seasoning on his belt, he's going to leave Sanity and wreak havoc on the main roster.
Right. Wally, you watch NXT, man?
Nah, I missed it. I had the DJ yesterday and Tuesday actually, so
Okay.
I missed it. I'm gonna have to catch up on NXT. I'm actually probably gonna watch it after we done here.
Okay. All right.
So,
Next, we had a vignette for the Velveteen Dream,
Oh
aka
God,
Patrick Clark.
Patrick Clark.
Hey, man, I'm hyped.
that's the Prince dude, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I'm glad
It's like
that
19.
I'm glad that he's getting the chance to do something down there because he's had a good showing on Tough Enough, and then he's known up here. He wrestled MCW up here for like some years and everything, so it's a good look for him and everything.
Well, I kind of knew that maybe something was coming down the pike with him because Triple H actually went out of his way to mention his name in like an ESPN interview.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, he was like, "Yeah, we got people, like young and up and comers like Patrick Clark," and he just like singled him out. And now to see this like come to fruition, it's pretty cool. I guess it's gonna be a cross in between Prince and Jimi Hendrix because that's he kind of came out a couple of times.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm excited to see Patrick Clark get some push, man. You're always here to support the black wrestlers, man. Can never have enough.
Word up.
So next we got Heavy Machinery versus two local competitors. Dozovitz runs both guys into each other, and then they kind of like hug. Then Dozovitz picks up both guys. Then his partner Tucker hits the ropes and does a Thesz press onto Dozovitz, which means he falls down, crushing both of the jobbers. Heavy Machinery gets the win. After the match, Heavy Machinery does an in-ring promo, and they call out the Authors of Pain. This is basically Tugboat and Typhoon, like 2.0.
But they can actually wrestle.
Yeah. Yeah, Tucker Knight is really good, man. And that Dozovitz dude is like a wider rhino. Like, I didn't think that was possible. A shorter, wider rhino, Didi. Think about that.
A shorter, wider rhino.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah.
So he's like a hippo.
Yeah, I guess so.
Kinda, yeah.
I guess so. So next we have DIY backstage. Hey, Mo, did you see the interviewer?
Yeah.
Whew, smoke show. So they're doing a backstage promo, and they declare that the line for the tag team titles, start behind them because they still haven't had their rematch.
Their one-on-one rematch. I mean, their one-on-one tag team match rematch.
So next we get Kona Reeves versus Hideo Itami. Kona attacks Itami before the match starts, but Itami eventually gets the win with the go to sleep.
I'm hoping this is the third time it's a charm for him because they've been throwing they've been putting all this behind him and everything, and seems like every time we turn around he's getting injured. So I hope that this time his shoulder or whatever won't go out on him again, and he can actually live up to the height that's supposed to be behind him.
Right. Well, he missed his chance because he got hurt. He took too long to come back because it could have been like, him and Finn in a program as Finn was the guy who hurt him. But he took so long to come back, and Finn was, so popular and so hot. He missed it. He missed his chance. He missed his chance with Kevin Owens, too. They all came in at the same time. They like 2 years on the main roster now, and he's still on NXT. That just tells you how bad the injuries have been for him. So,
for real.
I do like that they put him right into the main event program this time instead of trying to work him back in it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Shoot him to the top while we got him.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's smart too, Wally. Next, we get a Drew McIntyre video package, basically, showcasing his, run at NXT these last month or so.
So what y'all think about him coming back to the company and everything. I mean, after he had a nice indie run.
He's like Bobby Roode. He's too polished to be in NXT because NXT isn't really for guys like him
Mm-hmm.
that are so like the guys that NXT are for the under ever really got a chance nowhere else, and then they finally get a chance on NXT, like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and somebody like Adam Cole would work well in NXT. But these guys like Bobby Roode and him, they're too slick. They already got that, Raw, SmackDown presentation to them.
I think that's good for NXT and kind of good for them because one, they they can operate at the top of the card, which is what they're going to do at the next level when not if but when they get there, and having some people like that down at NXT that are established and polished like that is good for the people that need to learn because they got somebody right there to learn from.
Right.
So next step, we got Roderick Strong video package, and basically, this is like the part 2 of the one they did last week, and it basically him going through ROH, being Mr. ROH, spending the decade plus there.
Yeah.
His wife, part of the 4 Horsewomen, having a baby, and him becoming a father, and him just soaking up, getting in the WWE system. Mo, remember when a couple of weeks ago they was talking about, WWE's been talking to ROH, they're trying to get the library.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trying to get the library. They was just trying to get rights to use some of this ROH footage.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing. Like that's the whole thing. They've been like people who've been in that ran through that company. They was just like, well, we want to use your footage and everything. So that's the main reason why.
Yeah, they just wanted to get to pay him a couple of dollars to use some of these still photos that they had of him wrestling. Seth Rollins and Samoa Joe back in the ROH days. So, not as a different tone than the first one. I won't say it wasn't as effective as the first one. Just a different tone. Just kind of showing him turning the corner and kind of reaching all his aspirations and hopes and dreams. And he's just excited. New chapter. New father and things like that. So,
who's a new father?
Roderick Strong.
That's the white guy.
Yeah.
I don't know any Caucasian people named Roderick.
He also talks about he got that phone call from Triple H. He was like, you signed anywhere else? He was like, no. He wanted to come to WWE. He was like, yes.
Pretty sure that's a phone call to Adam Cole.
Here's the thing. I don't know. I mean, a lot of people want to see Adam Cole there, but he might go to New Japan. I think he might swing and go to New Japan. He might go across the water. I think that.
And go have fun with the Bullet Club because they still got that thing going with like him and Kenny trying to like he's trying to barge his way in as like a figurehead in the Bullet Club.
Right.
Like if you were following the ROH TV or whatever. So next we go backstage. It's like Regal is like watching that video package and he's got Bobby Roode back there, and then it finishes, and then Regal's shaking his head like, man, that was amazing. And Bobby Roode is like on his phone, not even paying attention, like, yeah, it was great. So they're kind of discussing who's the next opponent will be for the NXT title in the TakeOver Chicago. Regal then makes a match for next week. Well, he says, basically he kind of intimates, Regal does, that Hideo Itami is going to be the next one. But Rude is like, oh, no, he's reckless. There's no way he should be even near me or the title. So what you're saying is that he should earn his match with you then. So he makes a match between Roderick Strong and Hideo Itami next week to see who's going to be the number 1 contender. And then Roderick Strong walks in to the office, and him and Bobby Roode have a stare down. And that's that. Then we come into our main event, Women's Battle Royal, as we have 15 of the NXT women to become the number 1 contender for Asuka's NXT Women's title. We have some notables in here, like the only one and only notable, Inky Blair, a.k.a. CrossFit Mary.
A.k.a. former Tennessee Vol. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Creepcast, hashtag. We had Victoria Gonzalez. We had Candice LeRae. We had Rachel Evers or Rachel Ellering.
Yep.
So there's Aaliyah, Liv Morgan, of course, the iconic Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. We had Ember Moon. We had the girl who was the MMA girl, but they changed her name to like Sasha or something. Um, and I think there's like one or two that I'm missing. But okay, so we had big 15-person battle royal. We get down to the final three where we have Ruby Riott, Nikki Cross, and Ember Moon. Ember Moon hits an eclipse on Nikki Cross. Then she goes up to hitting the eclipse on Ruby when Asuka hits the ring and tosses Ember from the top rope and then out of the ring into the guardrail. She meant to toss her into the ring post, and Ember went in between the ropes and all the way out of the
Man,
first into the guardrail. It was nasty.
when they talked about that, and I was like, that can't be real. And then I seen it last night, and I was like, speechless.
I saw it from the angle from the other side, from the far side. So where you see her, she spins her around and then she wheels her around and throws her out. And then you just see Ember disappear. So you don't really see her take the bump. But yeah, on the television, yeah, they show her take the bump. And yeah, it was nasty. So yeah, Ember is she's definitely injured. I don't know what the severity of the injury she's injured.
They were saying she was walking around with a sling on her arm, but they was trying to say it was like she wasn't really injured, but they said she had a sling on her arm just to be on the safe side or whatnot. But I think she could be injured because that wasn't just something that was playing.
Yeah. That was total accident. And if you see the way she goes flying like 8 feet from the ring to the guardrail.
I was like Superwoman.
Right. This wasn't like a short thing. This was like the ring is about 5 feet above the ground anyway. So to go from that elevation and then crash to the guardrail, yeah, she really got messed up. Asuka then takes out Ruby Riott and Nikki Cross, and then Asuka just leaves the ring. So Regal comes down and he announces that at TakeOver, Asuka will defend her title in a 4-way match against the 3 women she just beat up at the end of this battle royal. And that was the end of your NXT. With Nikki Cross laughing at Ember being hurt.
She sure was.
Yeah, she looked over and saw Ember was out the ring. Ember is like they got the people around her, and she is like writhing in pain. And then Nikki Cross just kind of gets this like smirk on her face and starts laughing. It's like, wow. So that was NXT for this week. This thing with Asuka is real good. The way they got her kind of booked, where she's just running roughshod over everybody and nobody can touch her, and she's doing what she wants, and she's acting real cocky. I like it.
I like it too. Who do you think they're going to get to actually take the belt off her though?
If she's healthy, it's going to be Ember.
Yep.
And then Ember's going to hold it, and then when it's time for Ember to lose it, she's going to lose it to Peyton Royce.
I like Peyton Royce a lot.
Yeah, Peyton Royce
I like those two. Those two, they're really iconic.
Peyton Royce would be all right by herself though.
Mm-hmm. She's the next one. She's the next one. Her. Ember's gonna be straight just because like she's athletic. She's so small though. That's the only thing that I worry about with her. She's even when she was wrestling like Liv Morgan, and Liv Morgan's not really that tall. She was like shorter than she was. It's the only thing I worry about her, but she's really fierce and compact and powerful. But yeah, Peyton Royce just has that. She has that entertainment to her that is really big in WWE right now, more than your wrestling skills. It's for most people. So yeah, Billy Kay, I think, might actually have more of a harder time transitioning if she gets caught up to the main roster than Peyton will when it's that time for that to come. So
didn't one of them have a main roster match already just because they was like somebody they was like the talent was across the sea, was on a like European tour or something like that, and needed somebody to come up and have a match. I think one of them had a match.
Well,
on SmackDown.
I know usually what happens is about maybe 3 months before they make their debut on the main roster, 4 or 5 months, they kind of go on the tours with them. they start going to different house shows with him. Like Tyler, I know that Tyler Breeze was making house like 2 or 3 months before he actually debuted on the main roster, just to kind of get a feel for the guys and just kind of how they do things.
Yeah, Oscar was too.
Yeah, well, I think she was just filling in for Naomi. That wasn't like her official. You're getting ready to get called out. That's when Naomi was hurt and she filled in because I got to actually see one of those matches.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, where she filled in for Naomi. So it's kind of actually like the same thing they're doing right now. They did it at a house show, but they just had Asuka in Naomi's spot. The same things they're doing on SmackDown. It's the same setup. It was Natty. It was Alexa. The only person who wasn't there, it was actually Alexa was on still because of SmackDown at the time, and Carmella with Ellsworth. So it's still kind of that 6-person tag team deal. So yeah, that was a really cool match. Mo, see anything? I know Wrestling Dontaku. We'll be talking about that coming up on Cast of Strong Style on Sunday. Me and Moto will be back with another episode, reviewing that. Actually, I haven't watched it yet, so that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. Anything else that you've been watching outside of WWE?
I've been like just looking at just catching like some whatever indie clips they put up online and stuff like that. I went to my first indie show a couple weeks ago. MCW. I went to that show. It was pretty good. It was like the old school, when you like watching like the old school WCW shows and WA shows where they was like, when they have the little small arenas and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was a pretty good show. I saw it was one of the good matches was Lito Rush and Flip. I think his name Flip, something like that. And they put on a really good show. And Lito Rush is like definitely gonna be the future of this industry.
yeah. Lito Rush is I think he just re-signed back up with ROH. I think I saw, but yeah, when his next deal is up, yeah, he's gonna be WWE bound or New Japan. Yeah, he's definitely the future. He is really good.
Yeah.
You know who I like from ROH though, and I didn't get it at first, but Sam was like, "Yo, this dude is incredible." Dalton Castle.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yes. Yes.
Real good.
Dude, he has WWE entertainment out the gate. I don't know why they haven't got him into NXT or onto the main roster yet, but man, that thing is what he does is fantastic.
That whole little Freddie Mercury thing he got going is popping. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I love watching ROH just to see Dalton Castle and the boys and all the antics that they do. I love when they do the New Japan crossover, and he usually gets teamed up with Taguchi, and they kind of do like a little comedy thing where Taguchi acts like him and everything. So it's really fun to catch that.
They probably have a New Japan ROH show, I think, in New York coming soon.
Yeah, it's coming in May.
Yeah.
Y'all mentioned Lito Rush, man. There's a black faction in ROH that he's feuding with now. I can't think of their names. I know one of the dude is like the mouthpiece. His name Caprice Coleman, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah.
I can't think of the name of the faction. It's escaping me right now. But they got like this big dude that looked like he legit just came off the football field.
Moose?
Like, nah, not Moose. His name's Shane Taylor.
Okay.
But I was watching some Ring of Honor's last television show a little earlier today, and that was my first time seeing him, and I was pretty impressed, man. Especially if somebody like he's a legit over 300 pounder, but you can tell he can move real well too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And but yeah, man, I'm kind of interested in seeing more of him and that Lito Rush guy. That was my first time seeing him today too.
Yeah. He's
good,
like the cruiserweight and just real quick and everything, and he just has moves, and it was just like just sitting there, everybody just watching the match. Like we was at the indie show, and everybody would just watch the match. It was just quiet because we were just really just caught by what was going on in the ring, and I was just like, man, and I see why it's like a lot of people that I talk to, they always like really give him his props, and I see exactly why.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, I don't know, man. It's just a weird thing right now. Like those guys, like the ROH man, they could really be really good because they got some really always have had some really young up and coming wrestlers. Only thing is their TV is so crazy. If you try to watch it, it's not the same everywhere. They need to get
Right.
it where it's the same everywhere. Like pick a day, like a Sunday afternoon or a Wednesday night or whatever. You own all these television stations and make it like USA does, like everywhere across the country at the same time. You can see ROH.
But it's like they syndicated, so Sinclair is only able to just do it like I guess you can only get it on it's whatever time they can fit it in. So
Right, like here in North Carolina, like sometimes it comes on at like 3:30 on like a Saturday, and then some other weekends it comes on at like 1:30, depending on if they got like a race or something
right.
coming on later on that day. So it's like never consistent.
And like here in Baltimore, they would have it like it would be on like Saturday on one channel, and then they would show it again Sunday on another on like their sister station or something like that.
Yeah,
So it's just crazy.
yeah. For Sinclair television station, they sure don't know how to operate their business for this wrestling game.
Right.
And
But
like
it's
they got way more money than WWE. I mean, if they really wanted to, they could blow WWE out of the water if they really wanted to.
I don't know. WWE as a machine has been around for years, so somebody try to give
They're
them
just a
some.
wrestling business. See, if they got like real, like if they were to say, okay, Jim Cornette, come back, do whatever you want to do, we wouldn't give you no pushback. With that money, man, Jim Cornette would have that thing up and popping because he understands how the TV works. First and foremost, that's the most important thing you got to understand. Like, you can't have you can have wrestling people run TV. That's why That's why Jim Crockett and WCW messed up because they got all the wrestling people out from running the promotion, and they had TV people and corporate people running it, and corporate people don't.
Right. They didn't know what to do with it.
Right, and corporate people don't understand wrestling because wrestling is it's like all sports. Sports don't make money. In theory, people make us who are involved, but the sports themselves they don't generate revenue. Unless you have just like an all-time great athlete or an all-time great run. Like if you get a bunch of like most NFL teams don't break even unless they make the playoffs. You have to go to the playoffs and have home playoff games to actually make money. Most of the teams are hoping that they can break even after they paid for the salaries and travel and all that type of stuff.
So sports franchises don't really make bread. This when they're broadcast on TV is when they actually make bread.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, day to day, they don't really they lose money. So same thing with the wrestling business, man. If you get the TV people in there trying to run it, you're gonna lose money. But if you get the wrestling people in there, that's why NXT is so good because it got Triple H's trade stands modern wrestling, unlike Vince, who's still trying to do and thinking that it's gonna be hot. And it's like, no, wrestling fans are different. The in between the more you think you should not like somebody is the reason why everybody likes him.
Right. And think about
Like,
NXT, you don't get you don't get everybody's not oversaturated. It's like, okay, you have a match, you go away for like a week or two. You have a segment and you might have a match at like a takeover or something like that.
Right.
They make you make you wonder where that person is at and make you, like you kind of miss them on the TV. Like we ain't seen Gargano and Ciampa on TV since
The last takeover.
Last takeover.
Right. And it's also like Nia Jax, Braun Strowman. Like the people want to cheer them. Like now the people really want to cheer Nia Jax. Like you can kind of see it. She's getting to the point where the people have kind of figured out, okay, yeah, we know what she's about. She's big, she's aggressive, and they want to cheer, but they still got her over there playing the heel. Same thing with Braun. Everybody wants to cheer him. they're chanting out "Thank you, Strowman," but they still programming him as a heel.
I know Vince had to be upset when they would say "Thank you, Strowman" at the end of the match on Sunday. I know he was like, "What are they doing? They're not supposed to chant that."
He just got to let it go, man. He just got to let it go and just say,
feel bad.
"Okay."
Here's the thing: he wasn't even at the. The thing is, I saw this. They said since the WWE's was on the West Coast, he didn't make the travel. He didn't go to he wasn't at the pay-per-view. I'm sure he had a hand in it, but he wasn't backstage like he normally was. They said he's like slowing down his travel and everything.
Right.
I feel bad for Roman, yo. I mean, look, the man ain't doing nothing but doing his job.
Mm-hmm.
And he just he's getting booked so bad, and people are just not having it. And and all he's doing is just going out there and doing his job.
I thought they had wised up the night after WrestleMania when they just had him come out there and he said his one little line and he walked out and he didn't see him no more.
Right.
That was perfect.
That was it. I was like, okay, we getting something here. And the next thing you know,
there needs to be more of that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then the next week he's getting tossed around in the ambulance.
I don't know if the Glow can handle Roman being cocky and heel and arrogant and that. I think they would. I don't think they can handle it.
They can handle it. Oh, they definitely would handle that.
They would be falling out all over the place.
I mean, that's true, but that's okay.
And they still would love him once the match is over.
Oh no, they love him during the match, before the match. That's what they've been waiting for. They've been waiting for him to let loose and be the real cool Roman Reigns. Like I know Didi, you listen to him on Jericho's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
He's got it in him, and he wants to do it, but
they won't let him.
Yeah, he's a company man. He does what they tell him to do.
Right.
He got opinions about it, but okay, that's what you want.
Right. So
it's kind of like what happened with The Rock. It was like they was like Rocky sucks and everything. The next thing you know, he finally turned heel. His career never came back.
But what helped him was he got hurt.
Yeah.
He got so they had a reason. They kind of had a reason to they had to do something with him when he came back. So of course, if the people are already chanting for you and then let's just do the natural thing. And I think that's what they've gotten away from in WWE. They don't do the common sense thing anymore. It's like they try to be smarter than us. Since they say, okay, the fans know everything and they have all this information, what can we do to make what they think they know not be the truth? And I think it's more going with the crowd and just giving the crowd what they want. They missed out on Daniel Bryan, a whole run of Daniel Bryan because they didn't want to listen to the crowd. And now we became the biggest star in wrestling, and they finally figured it out. They got, a good month out of him, and then they couldn't use him no more.
Nope.
You think they would learn from that?
Right. But, oh well.
The thing is, pardon me, I'm sorry.
I know.
The thing that gets me, man, is they're so arrogant that they don't even realize that if they give the people what they want, that they will get what they want out of Roman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They want him to be this top star. If they just let him be, and let him be the person that all the fans see that he can be, and that he wants to be, instead of just saying like, nah, we're going to force him this way until we get our way, because our way is right and y'all are wrong. If they would drop that attitude and just let him rock, he'd be the big ass star that they see him to be.
Right. And it wouldn't have taken 4 years. I mean, this has been we've been doing this podcast for 3 years, coming up on 3 years. And the whole time, and even the year before that, the 6 months before that, when we were kind of get this thing together, they've been trying to get Roman to the tippy top. And when they had him tippy top, it was like, oh no, it's not time yet. They kept pushing him back.
Right.
Like, oh, it's not time yet. Then when they tried to give it to him, he ended up getting that appendix joint, and was out for like the month and a half or whatever. And Dean had Dean took his place. Dean got hot, and then the next thing you know, they put the title on Dean.
Whole thing is the whole thing has been strange. You know,
It has been.
Yeah. So, but because what's like the last thing I'll say about it, Samoans have never really been booked as baby faces. That's really not their thing. Their thing is to be heels, to be really vicious. And Roman is kind of, besides The Rock, they kind of tried to do the thing with The Rock, but then the people rejected it. And it's the same thing with Roman, like you said. They need to just go ahead, because that's what comes natural to them. And then one heel makes being a babyface so much easier.
Right.
Because you learn how to call the match. You learn to figure out what works. You learn how to work slow, which is like a lot of things that the baby faces don't do. They want to work too fast, but the heels try to slow them down a little bit, and you just gain more experience by being the bad guy. And then when you come back over to be the good guy, then you know everything you need to know about, okay, you can tell the dude, no, don't do that. Slow down right here. Make sure that they see this or see that. So, but hopefully we'll be able to cheer him and say, hey, guess what, man? It was all worth it, the beginning part, for what we get now, just like we did with The Rock. So that's our hope, and we continue to hope for it here on the Wrasslecast. So at this time, we're going to open it up to everybody so they can do some shout-outs and give some parting thoughts. So DJ Wallace Sparks, final thoughts, man?
Well, you know what, man? I just want to say thank y'all for doing this kind of thing. I think I said this last time, but I really appreciate what y'all are doing. Like, this is and I'm happy that I get the privilege to join every now and again on this discussion, because this is some real cool shit y'all got going on. So thank you to y'all. And other than that, man, I'm just happy that there's good wrestling on TV all the time now, and not shitty wrestling once a week like it was for a while. So,
we tried to tell everybody when SmackDown went live that it was gonna hashtag SmackDown Matters, and ever since then it's been killing Raw.
I mean, yeah, since the first episode,
right? So that's the reason why we had to get Renee on this show, because she was down with SmackDown before it was cool.
She was.
Before y'all were into it, before we had Nakamura, I was here.
A1.
Before AJ, I'm the house that SmackDown built.
She's the face that runs the place.
Damn right.
All right, Reese, what you got for shout outs and final thoughts, man?
Thanks, shout out everybody. Wiley be tripping me out on Twitter when we be having the broadcast, and everybody just be wanting his commentary and everything, A shout out to everybody. Have a happy Cinco de Mayo.
Yes.
I got a DJ twice tomorrow, so.
Dang. You're a booked man.
Yeah, man, Cinco de Mayo is a big party day, so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I feel you.
And it's on a Friday too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so everybody, drinking those Mexican beers with limes and whatnot, tequila shots. Be safe out there tomorrow.
Yes. Get a designated driver too.
That's right. Dee.
Shout out to Mel, because Mel always gets shout outs. Shout out to tacos, because I had some and they were delicious.
Getting in the spirit, getting in the mood, huh?
Yeah, I was. I had them twice this week. Once.
Oh.
Listen. I would tell you all I went on a date, but it was very platonic. She's married. We're friends. It's not like that. But we were in the museum. We went out to eat. So it's like a date, but it's not a date. You know what I'm saying? So when we went there, we got some tacos. And then earlier today, I got tacos. Tomorrow or today, depending on when you listen to this, is Truckaroo. So I'm getting more tacos and a margarita.
Nice.
Margarita is a must.
Margarita has to happen. And they're actually really good at the place. So I'm definitely getting that. So shout out to those liquors and libations and foods. Shout out to Wally because he's part of the Bay Club. Shout out to Mo. Shout out to Donald. Shout out to Greg with his 15 jobs. Shout out to Sam. Shout out to who? Chairman.
Classic.
Yeah. Gotta get classic in there. Who else? Nobody else? Yeah, nobody else. That's it.
DJ Classic material on the 1 and 2s. That's what I love doing that when I see the part and promo come up.
Yeah, it's a labor of love, man. I just pick him out, and then he does all the. So sometimes I don't like. It's a big surprise, and sometimes like the Braun Strowman with the big crit behind it. That was so.
Yeah.
What crit record was it?
Country shit. When he was talking about turning Roman over in the ambulance, the next week.
No. What crit song did he use?
He used
Country shit.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, that was a good one, man. That was a good one.
Speaking of, today is the 7th anniversary of the Crit Was Here album coming out.
Wow.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. May 4th, 2010.
Wow. History right there, man.
Some good times, man.
Still, man.
Still goes hard.
Great times, man.
Still sounds fresh. Still sounds fresh. All right, I'd like to give a shout out to Wally and Mo, man. They came on last minute, jumped on the Wrasslecast family coming through, man, in a pinch. I had a guest scheduled, but they had to cancel it last minute. So within like 15 minutes, man, put a call out, and these brothers jumped on. So I'm really, really appreciative to them to help us out tonight. Of course, give a shout out to my SmackDown Matters correspondent, Didi Jonay, Sam, and Greg, our other members who can't make it this week. Chairman, of course. I'd like to give a shout out to the Decepticomics. They made their almost 9,000-mile trip around the country safe and sound. No arrest, and
that's a blessing. That's such a blessing, man.
No, didn't even get pulled over on the highway. So, and they left a lot of people in laughs and a bunch of new fans out there across the country. So, big shout out to all of those brothers, man. Shout out to everybody on the network that provides content to everybody, man. Every week, puts in the work, puts in the grind. Shout out to the people over at Know the Score. Put out a great episode this week. I couldn't make it, but they held it down for me. So, and got to shout out Moto, of course. Listen to us on Cast of Strong Style if you're into New Japan. Wrestling Dantaku was this week, so we're getting ready to chop it up and talk about it. And we're going to put out a review show coming up soon. So be on the lookout for that. And like Maurice says, stay tuned for the parting promo. And for Didi Jonay, Maurice, and DJ Wally Sparks, I'm Don De Laurentiis, and this has been the Wrasslecast, episode 132.